Yeah, what's good?
What's up to the world?
What y'all
Oh,
doing? Hope y'all watching us.
yes, yes. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in and get comfortable with
hmm
us as we, do what we do. Welcome to Two Snaps and a Circle.
Mm, mm.
I'm sorry, that was funny. I was not expecting that. No.
Yeah, not what we rehearsed.
Oh man, that was funny. That was funny. But yes, I am Chevy. And
Yeah, now Toya.
yes, that's Toya, guys. And we are here to deliver the movie discussions and movie news and
hmm
other things that you didn't know that you wanted to talk about.
And here we are
That's what
discussing
we're
them,
here
talking about
to deliver. That's what
it.
we're here
Exactly.
to deliver.
If you was wondering, what have you stumbled upon? Two girls talking about movies.
Yeah, talk about movies and movie news and other things that might be related to other things like life
Right.
and such. Whatever,
Exactly.
whatever you're into.
But how are you, girl?
I'm
What's
good.
good with you?
I'm good, same old, same old, just a different week of the same old.
Mhm. Ain't
Uh,
it crazy? It's just another week of the same old things that you was doing last week and the week before that and the week before that.
pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. So, you know, it's almost Friday,
Friday
ready
Eve.
for the weekend.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all right.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm the same. Like, I'm not gonna lie, like earlier this week, I was really excited for Thursday, and not saying that I don't feel the same anymore, but I was super excited earlier this week. Like, I can't wait to like talk about this movie because I was excited to see Sweeney Todd. I was like kind of amped up off of it last week. Like, oh, okay, this might be good. This might be an interesting movie. And I read a little bit. I try not to like tease myself too much. I read a little bit about it, and I was like, oh, this is about to be a very interesting film. And it did not disappoint. So I have to say that although unlike most weeks, my excitement started very early. Usually my excitement starts kind of like Tuesday, Wednesday, uh, or like the day of. This was like festering over the weekend where I'm like, I'm geeked. Like, I can't wait to watch this movie and like talk about it. And yeah, once I finally watched it, I'm like, oh, okay. Let's
I'm
do
not gonna
this.
lie. I felt the same way. I've seen Sweeney Todd. Probably like 2008. We rented it from the movie theater. I mean,
Mhm.
you can't rent nothing
You
from
can't rave enough
the
from the
theater.
movie theater, but I knew what you were saying though. I knew what you were saying.
We rented from like Blockbuster or something.
Yeah.
And we rented that. We rented The Eye, a movie with Jessica Alba where she was blind and she got the eye transplant.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
rented
And then
something
she could
another
see
scary
things
movie.
beyond
Yeah,
like
like the eyes that she got was from like some Hispanic or Latino person who died in this fire, and like she every time she closed her eyes, she saw the fire and the carnage,
hmm.
and she would see like the ghost. Now that's probably very loose interpretation of
Oh,
what
for
that movie is
sure. For
about
sure.
because I
But
never actually finished watching it.
for the
But
most part, you nailed it. For the most part, you nailed it.
we rented those, like we rented something else, and that was the first movie of three that we were watching. We was gonna have a horror movie night. We we got halfway through the eyes or the eye, and we was like, yeah, I'm good. Like
Mm-hmm.
we can be done with this for the day because this is a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This is just a
Mm-hmm.
lot to deal with after Sweeney Todd, because Sweeney Todd just kind of made us sit there for a minute and say, Okay. Like, but I hadn't seen it, so I couldn't remember like what happened because I hadn't seen
Yeah.
it in so long. So a lot of that stuff was new. But once I got it, I was like, oh, okay,
Now I get it.
It's like this is what's gonna happen. But yeah, that's definitely a different type of musical than we have watched as far
Yes.
as the music
Yes,
and
ma'am.
what the music stands for and what the music represents and
Mm-hmm.
the tone that it can create versus the other two musicals that we watched, because the tone that was created by these songs was totally different.
Oh, totally different. I was like, nah, this is a musical.
Music with a message, because they trying to tell you something.
Because they're trying to tell you, son, you better listen.
Hey, you better listen what they got to say. Because when they talking.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, when
They
they singing, they singing, they talking, they singing through they talking through they singing.
exactly.
Like
Exactly.
for real. Do we happen to have any movie news? Movie
Yeah,
news?
we have movie news, but I'm checking something real quick. Let me
All
check
right,
it
cool.
real
Yeah,
quick.
I definitely felt that as and I for sure, I mean, I'll save it for when we really get into it, but I was like, dang, right out the bat.
Right, it's just gonna go into it just like
Like opening credits and bam.
that.
I don't know the first note, so I just made up a note, but
Okay, all right. So, boom, 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 boom. Movie news. We're here with the movie news. We just basically compiling movie news into one source for you to be able to digest it better. That's pretty much
correct.
what we here at movie news.
It's the best.
Because it's all over the place, man. And sometimes you gotta scrape the bottom of the barrel to get it because it don't be that available.
It don't always like work the way you need.
Some great like that one week where they announced all the Marvel stuff and all the movie drops, like first week of the year or something. That was a movie week, and they dropped the
Like,
majority of it on Thursday. So it was like
bruh,
pow, 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 pow,
pow,
pow.
pow, 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 pow. Had the whole internet going crazy.
Crazy, but you know, it is what it is. So the Snyder
Yeah.
cut of Justice League dropped today on HBO Max, and it
Hmm.
is 4 hours long. So pull up a chair if you
Yes.
decide to watch that. It's longer than Lord of the Rings and Endgame. So yeah, I
Wow.
mean, and I already seen that movie, and it wasn't that great. So it better be better than the original version of the Justice
It
League, or I'm
better.
gonna be mad because it has to be better if you're making me sit there for 4 hours,
Oh,
and it's
for
not gonna
real.
be an intermission.
To me, what's the point of having a director's cut if it's like you could have kept that to yourself? You could have had people download it or get a special link or like offer that along with like that's 4 hours.
Yeah, it really is four
That better
hours.
be the cut of all cuts.
Well, I mean, I just feel like whatever version, but you know, that's why he campaigned to do the Schneider cut, because the version of the movie that he wanted and the version of the movies that the studio wanted was they were trying to replicate the Marvel formula where it's
Um,
kind of, you know, funny and quirky, but they get the job done. Because I feel like that's the Marvel motto. Like, we make you laugh, we make you have fun, and then pow, we kill your favorite character. But we're still having fun, and we're saving the world, and pow, we kill another one of your favorite characters. And we're still laughing, and we still love everybody. But nah, like DC movies, it's like pow, we killed your favorite character, nigga. I mean, bitch. I mean, I'm sorry. I just got in my feelings a little bit.
I mean, I don't know what that be like, honestly. You know, if you are a watcher of the show, you know that I know nothing really about Marvel like that. I'm not gonna say that I'm not a fan. I love Batman, but I'm also not a fan of DC. I don't really care, but I feel like DC has usually been the more
Serious.
dramatic and just driven around like story. It's a bit more dark, and they're like, we are not fun about being superheroes. We take superheroes seriously. And it will be interesting to see them take a different route and maybe a couple of different tropes with the way that a movie can be made about superheroes, because superhero is something about it that should have a fun aspect to it. Everybody's story shouldn't be so dang on serious and dark. But I do realize that that's how Marvel gets you. They like, but we had fun. Like, you have reasons to smile. Like,
Right.
but
Right.
sorry, they're gone.
Right. Sorry, y'all. I got in my feelings. It got crazy for a minute. Anyway, more Marvel news. I do not know how to say this man's last name, but Kingsley. You know how to say his last name?
Kingsley.
Adair. Bendadair.
Yeah, I believe that is how. Yes,
okay.
I believe so.
Kingsley Bendadair, who played Malcolm X in one. I was about to say Once Upon a Time in Mexico. In one night in Miami.
Girl, shut up.
I need to collect myself.
Wait, what?
Ooh, I need to collect myself.
Oh my God. They close though.
Yeah, but no cigar. But no cigar. Who played Malcolm X in One Night in Miami, will be playing the lead villain of the new Marvel series, Secret Invasion, as a Skrull person. Whew, okay. All right.
That was a piece of news to get out.
The Skrull people they were featured in Captain Marvel movie, and they are green aliens who are shapeshifters. They can literally see a person and become whomever they are, but they do not take their memories on. So if you run into one, you just ask them like a question that only you and they would know, and you would know that they're not who they are.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's who he gonna be playing. Hey Stacy, what's up?
What do you do, Stacy?
All right. So Sonic 2 has started production. I'm gonna come back to that because it
gonna rattle back.
So did you know that they are developing a new Monsters Inc. series at Disney Plus that is set to premiere on July 2nd called Monsters at Work?
No, I did not. That is so pleasant to hear. Like, because I have to say, out of all of the Pixar movies, I have to say that series is my favorite. The Monsters.
Yeah, I love Monsters Inc. Monsters Inc. is great. It's a great movie.
It's hard to mess that up.
And the main characters are coming back. So
great. Yes. Sully.
Yes. Venom.
I heard about this stuff.
Has been delayed. Been pushed back to September 17th. Okay, guys, we getting a little fed up with the pushbacks because we just think they never gonna come out now. We don't.
Yeah, that's why I'm like sad, but what does that mean? Like,
it's just like, okay, so when you gonna push it back again?
Yeah, well, you're just gonna keep doing this to us? Okay, cool.
Keep pushing it back. Okay, so this is exclusive insider news straight from my brother's Instagram to y'all ears. My brother was in Vegas on Tuesday.
I was hoping that you would do this. I was so hoping that you would do this. I knew you would do this. That's why I didn't even say nothing to you. I was like, I ain't gotta say nothing.
I was like, oh, this is a 2 snaps in the circle
exclusive. 2 snaps in the circle exclusive. Go ahead.
They were filming. He got shots of them filming Fast 9 in Las Vegas, Nevada on Tuesday.
And they was Tuesday
drifting and stuff. They was Tokyo drifting in Las Vegas.
We seen the camera on the car.
And the car hitting that turn. Hitting that
turn. Only that a Fast 9 movie would do. Like,
yeah. That was insiders. This is inside information.
Inside information. So just know when you see certain scenes, it's in Vegas and it
Yep.
happened now.
It don't matter what they say. It was in Vegas.
It
And
was in
that is a Two Snaps in a Circle exclusive.
Exclusive, exclusive.
Yeah, Stacy, we need some drops. You're going to have to
Yeah,
hook
no,
us up with some drops.
quick drop, quick, because we need a little board, like
Yeah, listen, we
please.
just hit them.
Yes. But yeah, when I seen that, I was like, okay. Now, do I give a F for real? Not really.
Yeah, me neither. And it also makes me wonder, are they delaying the movies because of issues during production, like somebody getting COVID, or are they delaying the movies because they don't want them in theaters? I mean, because they're trying to wait to be able to put them in theaters.
I wouldn't be surprised if a combination of both, I mean, as we're getting to a place with people, vaccines about to be more available to us under 60, and more production is taking way. I believe that as we start to do these vaccines and more people start to do it, they're going to slowly but surely start opening up certain things, for instance, movie theaters, productions. And so, but I think when you do that, the risk that you take is one person tests positive for COVID and it's a wrap.
Right.
I mean, it happened a couple weeks ago with the All-Star game. One team lost 2 whole All-Stars because the Barber tested positive.
Oh, wow. Oh, right, because the dudes who was in the shooting, the 3-point contest, one of the guys, he was a fill-in or something, wasn't he?
Yep. So it was a couple people that, and it's happening all across the entertainment industry. Including, I mean, it's all entertainment for me. If you're on TV, you're entertainment, whether it's news, like, I mean, it's news, but you somebody test positive, like, you got to shut down the whole set. You got to back things up. Like, something happens in somebody's school, you gotta, everybody stay home, like, everybody work from home. But see, that's a difference in the entertainment industry. You can't work from home with these things, unless it's an interview or a virtual setup, I guess. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see all of these delays, like, because you can't control it all.
Can you imagine them pulling, like, trying to do a scene with 2 people in 2 different sound stages, like how they did the interview with, like, Michelle, I mean, with former President Obama and forever President Obama.
Yes, forever president. That's what they will be called now. Yes. Well, I mean, we always call her our forever first lady, so he's our forever president. So
oh no, they have done that. I forgot about it. They actually did a movie where everybody was separate and the director directed from a phone. It was a movie that they did on Amazon, and it was called something about a funeral. It was about a funeral. It was all like comedic women. Tiffany Haddish was in it.
I'm mad because I know exactly what you're talking about, but the title is slipping on me.
I cannot think of the name of it, but it just came out. No, wrong one. But it was about 2020. It was about death of 2020, but that's not the one. And they didn't. Everybody shot their scenes separately. They set everything up, and everybody came.
So it can't be done.
Yeah, it can.
Yearly Departed.
Yes, that's what it is. That's what it's called. After the movie goes off, they show you how they shot it.
That's sick. That's sick though.
Yeah, instead of showing like bloopers through the credits, they show you how they shot it, how they brought everybody in on separate days. And that's why the scenes kind of go long and a little crazy, because they were doing it by themselves, really. So they had to kind of.
So it's like a bunch of monologues, and then it's like you play Tiffany Haddish's monologue, and then other actors are just reacting to what's going on.
Right.
That's interesting. That's really cool to see. But as we know, like, everybody movie ain't gonna be set up like that. But it's really cool to see that people are stepping out of the box and getting creative and trying to find ways to, like, make this happen as safely as possible, because whether you get 4 people on set or whether you have 23 people on set. It's all unsafe when you get, it's like the opposite of, when they say it's like whether it's 2 or more people around, you have more than enough people to basically have church, it's the complete opposite. Like when you have 2 or more people, it's suddenly become very unsafe.
Right. Right. And yeah, Stacey, we should do a watch party since it's on Amazon. That's
All
smart.
right, okay.
You smart, you smart. Speaking of basketball, because we spoke of it, Space Jam comes out on the 16th, but yet we still
Come
have
on,
not got
Space
the
Jam.
trailer, and so whatever.
Come on, Space Jam. Man,
I'm ready for the trailer to drop. The trailer
yeah,
still has not
they're gonna
dropped.
do it at the last minute. It's either gonna come, it's either gonna come at the around the holiday. They'll probably drop it around Easter or something, or like a week out. They're just gonna drop it out of nowhere.
That would be terrible if they waited for a week out. That would be
And
terrible.
I don't know why. I don't know why I'm making up this stuff, but it just feel. I mean, that's what this allows me to do. When you just don't drop the trailer and you keep putting up the same 5 pictures of the film, like I just realized what the young boy looked like. What LeBron's son is gonna look like, and still haven't seen information on that. Like, can we get more? So I don't know. I think that they're trying to save face, and just in case people are starting to tear it apart. Because
yeah, I can see that. Okay, so we got a to be announced date for Daniel Kaluuya. Is that how you say his last name?
yes, I believe so.
He will be hosting Saturday Night Live.
Hey, good for him.
And they didn't have a date. So Disney Plus is increasing by $1. If you didn't know, now you know.
They said run that dollar.
Run it. They told me yesterday when I went in. Before I get into this Oscars, I'm just gonna go out and say it. I was just trying to save it so I didn't have to say it at all. But unfortunately, I have some very bad news to announce to everyone. But season 4 of Killing Eve is going to be the last season. I just got into it.
You just got into it, and I felt so bad because I was like, "This is the one show that Chevy loves," and they said, "Guess what? We wrapping it on up."
It's because of COVID, though.
I'm so sorry for you.
COVID, because they shot in so many different countries, and they can't do that because I really think it's because I haven't read an article about why, because I don't want to know why. They shooting this summer. They're gonna premiere it in next year, probably top of the year. So they better give us what we want. That's all I got to say.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say. But I am not happy about it. Not happy at all. Okay, I'm gonna save Oscars for last. They dropped the poster for the new Loki television show today.
Hey,
and I forgot Owen Wilson was gonna be in it because they just dropped. I watched it before we started. They dropped a little video of Owen and Tom Hiddleston premiering the poster for the show and them having a little comedic banter. So yeah, they dropped that. Winter Soldier and the Falcon comes out tomorrow.
Hey, that's exciting.
Yes,
especially
it is exciting.
Since WandaVision ended last week or the week before?
Last? I think it was a week before last.
Week before last, yep.
Yes. And news that's not really news to Marvel fans at this point. I mean, maybe somebody, but like the only person that I deal with that's a super lover of Captain America is Camille, and like me and Devin and everybody else, we really don't like him. I mean, there would be no Avengers without him, but I don't like need him around. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not my favorite Avenger. Like, he's not even in the top 5.
Right, so you can kind of like do without him.
Yeah, I can do without him. Plus, he kind of made me mad at one point. So, forget him. But he is not. Chris Evans is not returning. Kevin Feige stated that he is not returning as Captain America because there was rumors that he was possibly. But when they say somebody's not, they lying. So we don't even care no more because y'all be lying to us a lot.
Yeah,
So
we understand why you don't want to let that get out. You know, we understand why you don't want the just like you said, the lovers of Captain America to find out Chris Evans no longer will play Captain America. Of course, you don't want the people to know that, because that they may very well be the people who just like completely drop off. Because what I'm finding out with this whole Marvel thing is that you usually have some sort of a buy-in with a superhero. You know,
yeah.
there's a superhero that you love, and that's kind of your buy-in to the universe, and then you just fall in love with the bigger story, right? And if your person's gone, then you start to be like, well, I don't know if I want to watch this anymore.
And that's true, yeah. But this is the thing. This is why we don't pay no attention to them, because you saying he's not going to be in any future projects. What has he done since Endgame? We don't know. So yeah, he may have done something else that we don't even know he did yet. And then 2 years from now, we're gonna find out that he's did something, but he's not gonna do anything else. And that's what y'all meant. That's why we don't.
Right, and that's what y'all was talking about. Y'all, yeah, like we just filmed this, or he was just in this huge portion of this, but that was the last time you'll see him. And instead of the way that they're making it feel like, oh, the decision's been made now and nothing has been made and nothing's going to be made, instead of it's moving on from this point, nothing else will be made, but please be on the lookout. But
yeah,
just like you said,
that's what they do.
They don't have to tell you that. They don't have to tell us that. You know, and I think that's the way that they like to play with our heads. You know.
Yes, pretty much.
So you thought Chris Evans was gone. He's still in this one, so come out and watch it. Like,
and that's why we don't care.
We see y'all games. We see y'all.
We done with it. We tired of y'all. We fed up with it. We fed up with it. Because there's some stuff that Tony Stark is still, Robert Downey Jr. is still gonna be in, and it's some stuff that Chadwick Boseman is still gonna be in that hasn't been released yet. So that's why you have to be careful about their verbiage, because they be lying. Period. They just be lying.
Yeah, half truths.
So speaking of Chadwick Boseman, because I'm going to move into the Oscar nominations now, I'm just really truthfully rooting for everyone that's Black. So I'm only going to talk about the people who are Black who are nominated for awards, because it's a lot of people nominated. Okay, Anthony Hopkins nominated, but he's Anthony Hopkins. Okay, let's talk about the non-Anthony Hopkins of the world. Okay, because we love you, Anthony, but rooting for everybody that's Black.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Chadwick Boseman.
I like that.
Is nominated for Best Actor for Academy Award, but also Stephen Yeun, who is from Michigan, who was Glenn, R.I.P. Glenn, on Walking Dead, was nominated for a Best Actor as well.
Oh, congratulations! That's a great feat.
Daniel Kaluuya and Lakeith Stanfield are both nominated for supporting actor, and I actually read an article because I wanted to know how they both could be nominated for.
Yeah, how does that make sense?
So Universal, because I think Universal made the movie, and they campaigned for Lakeith to be nominated for Best Actor and Daniel to be nominated for Best Supporting. But even though they campaigned for that and they kind of made the posters for that, some of the other material that produced were misleading and made it seem as if Daniel was the leading actor and was the performer. But it's not up to them. The actors who vote in the Academy make the decision to pick how they are categorized, and they felt as if both of their characters were supporting roles.
Wow.
One of them were considered leads, and it's up to the Academy. They have the option to vote how they want to vote after viewing the movie to how a person is going to be nominated.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know so much technically that I'm like, that's wrong, or I feel that because it's set up like this is the way it should go. I mean, that makes sense. Almost now, like I get it now, where I was literally confused about 2 minutes ago.
I thought it was a thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, now
it could be a thing, but I mean,
and but just like you said, the actors can't be the ones that choose, you know. And now looking at the film, you know, when you look Keith's role and who he plays in the story, I do see why he would maybe be considered for the best actor leading so-called leader role, although the movie was centered around the story of
Yep.
Daniel Kaluuya's depiction. So yeah, I guess I get it. But it's still a tad confusing to those who aren't willing to do that research.
I thought it was some stuff.
Like, okay, Oscar so white.
Don't
make us bring back the hashtag.
The brothers up against each other like that.
Right, don't do it.
Don't do it. If they so win, but now you're putting them against each other. So how can they both win? See, y'all just don't want us both to win in both categories.
Oh, you just want us to lose on out or the whole thing? Okay. You like, oh, we get two at once. Okay, cool. Like we can just
so they both gonna win. If one of them win, is that how y'all gonna let them win?
Right, because how you gonna let him win but not let him win? Because they was in the same movie.
They was in the same movie, but
they was both supporting actors. So
I mean, I think
so inadvertently.
I think the win though. That scene of him in the what was it, a church? Gave me. I've never got chills watching a movie ever, other than a scary movie, probably. I had chills. Let's just stay here for a minute. Why didn't you tell me not to watch that?
Because I didn't. I know you said. I don't have a reason. I don't have a reason. What was the reason? My Cardi B. What was the reason? I remember you saying like, "Oh, let me watch it before," and I think that I am not traumatized enough I am not aware enough of your trauma, like the way that you deal with things when it comes to film. Like I've heard you say it, of course, but I don't think it ever crossed my mind that like, oh wow, she's gonna have a problem with this.
Girl.
Or wow, this is gonna invoke a lot of emotion in her. I don't think that there were moments that, I didn't think about you, Chevy. I did not think about you and your emotions when I watched that movie to be like, after I seen it, to be like, let me give her a heads up. And that's unfortunate. I have to do better.
It wrecked me. It wrecked me.
It's sad.
It's so sad. And I cried for so long. I was crying like it broke my heart. It broke my heart. It broke my heart in so many ways. I could not stop crying. If the Grammys wouldn't have came on, I probably would just went and got in my bed and just laid there.
And just went to bed like after a whooping. Like
it was like I got whooped.
Yeah, you got whooped, you cried, and yep, you just brought up and go to bed.
So long. And I couldn't stop crying. I tried to tell Jarrell, and I was like, they did him like that. I can't believe they did him like that.
It's messed up.
It was so.
It's messed up.
I mean, I thought that he gave him the poison was like, I started crying then. That's when I started. That's what broke my heart. That's when he did that. That was bad. But when they came in there
and from the first gunshot, like to be honest, like when you hear the footsteps, when you hear the footsteps, you see the shadow in front of the door. You just like, oh no. It's true. It's true. I'm being so honest here. I'm telling you. I'm being sincere. But now I have to like, what would Jesus do? What would Chevy do? What would Chevy think?
No, man. And then like that whole shootout scene, and then the part of that guy getting up with just bullet holes in his legs trying to stand up and grab his girlfriend, wife, whomever she was, and just try to get out, and then the police come through the back and shoot everybody. Oh, and then they shot him. Oh my God.
Right.
And she didn't even make a sound, Lord.
Not a sound.
Jesus, that is just
And you know, it's we I don't even like to see it when it's fictional. And so when it's
oh, but that's why I couldn't stop crying. That's
when
why
it's
I
the
couldn't
real
stop
thing, when it's
crying.
the real thing. And I mean, whatever. People can argue whatever they want to argue, but we know what happened and we know it was the truth. And you saw, and that wasn't no hearsay. That's what happened, yo.
Yeah, like
Period.
that's
So yes,
that's insane. That's insane. And
complete.
that movie made me realize, because I had seen a black movie about the Black Panthers when I was a kid, and it made me cry like that. And I really can't tell you what that movie's about because it traumatized me so bad. I don't remember it at all. I
Yeah,
really cannot watch depiction of Black history replayed on screen.
it's hard.
It's so hard for me to understand and comprehend something that we cannot understand and comprehend. And that's hate. And in film, I don't think it's depicted for us to understand it. But why? Because it's a movie. So you ask why, and you want me to ask why, but there's no explanation for this. But I have to watch this, and I don't understand why. A movie is a story. It's supposed to tell you this, and this, and you're supposed to come away with some type of conclusion as to why things transpired the way that they did. But our history is full of unanswered questions because there is no reason why other than hate.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, after you see what how they, not how I see us, when they see us, when and like any of those films that you watch, I feel like that is the consensus that you have after every film, and why it is so traumatizing and why it hurts so bad to watch those films, because you come out of it saying like, why do they hate us?
Right.
And then us being the ages that we're at, you know, being at a place where we would like to start families one day, it makes you sometimes have that feeling like, why would I want to bring a little baby into this world to just be hated by others? Like, why would I want to do that to them? You know, it's just sad.
Right. That, but yeah, this is true too. Is way worse out here in this world for real. Like the stuff that we don't see, stories that we don't know, the things can't pinpoint or place in history. Yeah, it's stories, it's people that's been really hurt and been really messed up, and it's no camera, no person to recant that story. It's just it just happened to them.
Yep. So true. So true. It's terrible.
So just on that note of hate crimes and hate, you know, just want to send some love to our Asian brothers and sisters for what they're going through right now with the shooting in Atlanta. That's the right thing.
Terrible.
Yeah, because people out here crazy, and they saying he had a bad day, so he deserves he's it's okay for him to go shoot up a massage parlor because he had a bad day.
Oh,
white boy.
Yep, because you have issues, and then you go take that out on other people. Okay, yep, because of your beliefs in. Okay, cool. Now I'm glad that you let everybody know that's okay. You just have a bad day. You're at the end of your rope. End of your rope?
Go kill people.
Yeah, just, you know, if you're mad, go kill the people that you don't like. That's what you do.
That's what
that is what you are telling people.
Yeah, that's not what you're supposed to do. But
yeah, of course.
Who's gonna have to come back and apologize for his bad choice of
words. Oh, for real. Resign. Just resign.
Yeah, he probably is, because people own him. People on his head. People on his head right now.
As we should. As we should.
So back to the lighter notes of things, celebrating the African American, the Black nominees for Oscars. Soul was nominated for Best Film.
Cheers.
Animated Film. Viola Davis was nominated for Best Actress. Black Messiah was nominated for Best Cinematography.
Because it was beautiful.
Yes, it was. The Five Bloods Soul was nominated for Best Musical Score.
Yes.
Fight for You The song wrote by her and other people, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
That was the theme or the song for Judas and the Black Messiah.
Such a good song.
It is
Really
nominated
good soundtrack.
for original score. I mean, best original
Yeah.
song. And Judas and the Black Messiah is nominated for best picture and best original screenplay.
Nice. That's good to hear. I'm glad. I'm glad.
So, that is the end of movie news. That was my little extra. Yeah, you had to hit it with the little extra. Yeah, hit it with the little extra.
Woo, that's good. That's
Oh,
good.
man. So today we watched
Sweeney Todd.
what is this? What is happening?
What?
I don't know. I'll worry about it later. Today not today. The other whenever days I watch it on Wednesday.
Yeah.
We watched Sweeney Todd.
Mm-hmm.
The musical. Well, the name of the actual movie is what? Sweeney Todd, the cursed barber of Beth. I'm making stuff
Fleet
up.
Street. Fleet Street.
I'm making stuff up.
You are.
Oh, Sweeney Todd, the demon barber of Fleet Street.
Fleet Street.
Woo. Woo.
Give us a little synopsis.
Oh, I have it right here. Let me pull it up. The infamous story of Benjamin Barker, aka Sweeney Todd, who sets up a barbershop in London, which is the basis of the sinister partnership with his fellow Miss. Oh man, that is not a good one. I shouldn't have read that one. I didn't know people could just put their own thing in here.
Right.
I'll read this one. Returning back to London after his wife and his daughter had been. Oh my God, this is terrible. I need someone else. IMDb, y'all got to stop letting people add new plots.
Yeah, man, what is wrong with y'all?
It's people not even spell checking they stuff. Let me go to Rotten Tomatoes because y'all not a reliable source.
Rotten Tomatoes. I like the way Rotten Tomatoes does theirs.
Let me do.
They got this synopsis. They be having those one sentence synopsis.
Let's see. Okay. No. Oh,
excuse me.
The movie. Evil Judge Turpin lusts for the beautiful wife of a London barber and transports him to Australia. Oh my God, Australia for a crime he did not commit. Returning after 15 years and calling himself Sweeney Todd, the now madman vows revenge, applying his razor to unlucky customers and shuttling their bodies. It's more. Shuttling their bodies down to Mrs. Lovett's, who uses them in her meat pie shop though many fall to his blade, he will not be satisfied until he slits Turpin's throats. Y'all, I can't read. But damn, they told me the whole movie in that.
They sure did. I'm like, well, dang. What is you synopsing?
This is a whole movie.
Just tell me the whole movie. You're
supposed to the whole movie.
You're not supposed to tell me what happens and what's going on like that.
Yeah,
like
they basically said, "Here's the whole movie, guys."
Right. You wanted to know what they're gonna do with the dead bodies. They're gonna turn them into meat pies.
I feel like that was the whole, but I guess if you've seen the play or whatever, you would know that.
Yeah, that you'd probably kind of have a heads up. But yeah. I mean, in true musical fashion, it just kind of gets right into it. And so even though I felt like that was a good story, it was, as you said before, very much more dark than the other musicals. Like, we thought they had trauma.
This was a whole nother level of just so much trauma, so much
things that needed to be dealt with and was not handled correctly, and just trying to figure out, I spent a great deal of the film figuring out who deserved what they got.
Yeah, that was actually a question I was gonna ask you.
Yeah, I spent a lot of that film trying to figure out who deserved what they got. And I mean, look, Sweeney Todd, aka what's his name? Benjamin
Benjamin
Barker.
Barber.
Um, you know, he was all on his revenge stuff off top. You know, he was on his F London, you know, like he was very condescending in that opening scene of being like, oh yes, London's great, you know,
But
like
London is trash.
oh London, right. Like what I really want to say is F London because I got something for them. Like they need to get prepared for me because they have no idea. My man's was ready to shank. He was ready to just bah, right. Like a 90s hood movie where they would just like kill people right in front of everybody. Just like blow
Yeah,
the
he was
brains
just
out.
ready. He didn't care if he
Drop
saw him
the
walking down the
bow,
street. He
baby.
was gonna kill them right then. But you know what I wondered though? So, like you said, the opening sequence starts off singing, but he starts off instantly mad, like, yo,
Oh, pissed.
London.
London. Look, I wrote it like when I wrote down my notes. You know how the whole SpongeBob thing came out where it was like the funny SpongeBob was like the capital letter, the big letter, and it was like
Yeah.
that was his vibe. Like, oh London, oh you're excited about London. I work on London too. Like, yeah, London.
But what I thought about watching that scene, that opening scene, was how the boy was like, Mr. Todd, are you okay? Because
Yeah.
like, was he nice all that time? And then
That's
all of
what I
a
was
sudden,
trying to
London.
like I've never seen this energy from
Yeah,
you,
like,
bro. Like
oh.
what's good? Anthony, and that was his name.
Yeah.
Anthony was definitely like, wow, I never saw this energy from you. Like, what I thought we were all excited to be here.
Yeah, like, I thought you wanted that. You've been telling me this whole time you couldn't wait to get back to London, bro. What happened?
Now and he still didn't tell him, you know, which was
Well, he kind of told him.
Kind of told him.
And his wife.
Yeah. But
a naive Barber and his wife.
Right.
I was so dumb. She was so beautiful.
Yes. Mr. Steal Your Girl came through like
I mean, it just said, hey, Biddle.
Her.
Okay. Her. Cops come. Bow, bow, bow in the head. Take him away. For no reason. What
was the reason? It was not even like he was a bad person that you could that nobody around was like, dang, why Sweeney go to jail? Like, why y'all lock up Mr. Todd? Like, now where am I gonna get my trim? Like,
yeah, like I need my haircut, bro.
People don't play about their barbers.
No, they really don't.
People don't play about their barbers and their hairstylists. So I'm just trying, I was trying to figure out like how, but then the funny thing is, although they always referred to him as judge, it wasn't until I saw him actually in court putting the little boy in jail. I mean, I'm sorry, sentencing him to death.
Really? That was crazy.
That I realized, like, oh, he is a judge. Like a
judge.
That's why he can get away with this. He's the
and he was the judge that killed people. Like, he was the judge that really dug in. Like, so people couldn't.
He was a bad man. He was a bad man. He was a well, which is something I want to talk about. Like, he's a troubled man as well, and not okay. It was times that I did when he showed that sympathy to Johanna, like it made me feel like, well, does he really love her and care about her? Like, does he, or is this just his own? Yeah, is this still like sick though? Like, can you still believe in it? Where he's like, I just seen so much in you, and I want, even the way he behaved when later on when he found out something, when Sweeney did what he did to get him to come back to the barber, it was like, did he really truly love and care for her? And then you just realize, like, nah, he's just a sick dude. He's just sick, honestly. He just sick. But yeah, so he missed to Steal Your Girl. He come by, he just, sends Sweeney off, like,
to Australia, which I didn't know that's where he sent him.
Yeah, I didn't know it was exactly to Australia either. Like, I don't think I picked up on that. But
Why is
Um,
pale?
you starts off very lighthearted, where you're like, okay, the darkest thing is the eyeliner around,
Lighthearted?
Johnny not lighthearted, but it's like, oh, I don't think I have anything to really worry about. Like, this is gonna be
Oh,
kind of fun. Like, it's gonna be like, we're dark, but we're not really dark. Like,
yeah.
and it would trick me. It tricked me because Sacha Baron Cohen's character, anytime he comes into a scene, you're just like, oh, we about to have fun. Like, he about to be silly, he about to show his butt.
He was
Like,
packing.
cool.
Sasha, he's packing. He was packing.
Oh, he was packing. I could not stop looking.
I know. It was just like right there.
Right there. I'm like, did they tell him not to wear underwear? Like, or were they like,
tall as hell with this one piece body?
oh my God. Yeah. He had camel toe. Or camel dick. But I loved his character. I almost wanted to say he was like the unsung hero, but more in a sense of like the musical part. Yeah. I just once I realized that he was playing up the whole Spaniard thing, which I saw that coming because he threw a on the back of things and kept saying Tata, and like, dude, you're not speaking Spanish. Like, you're just throwing a on the end of word. Well, he switched up and he was using his little English accent. I was like, oh, first of all, Sasha, you're talented. I love it. And then, I was like, dang, I want to see more. And then we witnessed the first.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. Like,
I yelled, murder!
No, you didn't.
Yes. I said murder, death, kill. Oh my gosh. I can't believe this.
Oh, you were really not expecting it to go there.
No, Siobhan, no. I was like, and you said this, you mentioned it, but I still was like, this is fun. Like, I mean, I don't know, maybe I've been watching too much Bridgerton, like, because I just it was like, it seemed like a darker Bridgerton, in the beginning, and then you realize like, oh no, this is bad.
Yeah,
this is bad. Yeah. But I kind of skipped the part because he's introduced to Mrs. Lovett.
Yeah, and that relationship was interesting because it was just like she knew who he was as soon as he came in.
Oh, she knew what he was doing.
First of all, how did she even have an operating business?
How? Like, the only person in which I thought that they should have took advantage of having the crazy old lady be the one who would be the only person that eats there. I thought that would have been interesting because she's like, it sounds like she knows everything. She knows everybody. And she was on the street, but I don't get how she was open either. I don't understand how she was open either. How was
her husband left her like a large sum of money that allowed for her to afford some type of life. Mm-hmm. But like because she referred to him a lot, and I don't know if it was out of love or out of dependence in a way, because maybe he's the one that took care of the restaurant and made sure that it ran properly, because she wasn't domesticated in
not at all
those times. Like, and I'm not saying she couldn't have been, but she definitely, from what I gather by the way her restaurant looked, she couldn't have been a woman who found joy in domestication.
No.
Like they tried to make us think that women did of that time.
No, and I think that's exactly the point that they were trying to convey. And bringing him up, it's not that she, just like you said, it's not that she missed him, but maybe she had missed the benefits of having him around, because what came along with that is that he ran that store and he made sure it went. But then he was also probably like a fatty, that somebody that just she wasn't very attracted to, but he had some things going and he probably freaking adored her, and she was just kind of riding on that. But because she was pining for somebody else. And when that person walked through the door,
it was like it is on. But also, what if it could have been the other version of it, as if she had to be so domesticated to be with him, and maybe she ran all of that stuff and took care and baked the pies, and after he died, this was her way of like lashing out against that type of societal norm.
It's very possible, because it's not like it was a lack of giving a F, you could tell that she learned some things. It's not that she was making bad pies in the sense of she didn't know how to cook.
She make a good pie. She just making bad pie.
She was just like, I'm gonna make the pie that you gonna get, and I don't care, and I'm gonna cut corners, and I'm gonna do it. It's not a big deal to me, and it's And if he was gone, her husband was gone. I was like, well, what was the point?
Yeah, and who's gonna check me?
Yeah, but man, I loved the way that they had, during, I believe it's the Friends, where he's singing to the knives and he's so happy to have, or the blades, I guess, the razor blades. He was so happy to have them back because he knew exactly what he was going to do with them. And he knew, he knew what was up. And her behind him just being like, I loved you forever. Is you listening? No. Oh, those are nice. And like him picking up on that energy, being like, oh, you are very close.
Like, but not caring though, because he was so one track that whatever help and assistance he could get to put his plan further, he was going to take it, and he was going to take advantage of it. And basically from the get-go, you knew that this was not the man who left London so many years ago.
Not at all.
This is a different man. He is only driven by his need for revenge, and that is it. He is the epitome of what can happen when you don't get over somebody who did something bad to you, that's then forgot all about you. Yeah, he is what that looks like. He is literally the worst version of that.
Like, you walking around all day talking about remember me, like you didn't want people to remember who you were. You changed your name, you changed your swag up and everything like that. Obviously, that just comes along with having your whole like life swept from up under your feet type thing. But he wanted them to still know who he was. I mean, kind of like the Barnum type character, where it's just like, oh, I want you to, why I'm doing this. I'm trying to prove that I'm not just a little poor tailor boy, Tailor Man's son, like Tailor Man. Like I'm just trying to prove that I'm better than that. Right. But unfortunately, what I end up proving is that I am still just hurt. Yeah, I'm just hurt. My feelings are hurt, and I can't believe that you just like ruined my life, and I want to kill you for it. I want to kill you for it. And he was ready to attack anytime he seen him. I mean, those towns ain't not big, so I'm gonna see you out.
Yeah, and I mean, when he did see him, he was ready. He was
gonna go.
He was so one track minded, and she was so in the beginning when you meet her character and she telling us her version of his life story. You think that it's coming from a good place.
Yes, but this movie really tricked me, and I absolutely loved it. For everything that I predicted, and I was like, I knew it, that it was just as much as I predicted, just as much that was like, girl, but you ain't see this coming. Like, murder!
I cannot believe you yelled that out.
Yo, I yelled murder! I can't believe you did that. Like, slice, red blood.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So
we see the first murder, and it's just like, wow, it really begins,
So in the midst of this, has Anthony discovered Joanna?
Lord have mercy. I'm like, is this the only thing he gonna get to sing about?
That song was so creepy. I will steal
Didn't
you.
like it.
I will steal you, Joanna.
Right. You know what I thought
Just
was
because I'm at your window. Okay, Joe.
how I was right.
I will steal you.
Okay, Mr. Falling in love between social distance. Like, come on.
You
How
don't
you
even
falling
know
in love
her.
from afar? You didn't even hear her voice through the window. So what? Like, what are you really? You just saw a baddie in the window. You know, like they were trying to act as if he could hear her.
Good.
Probably could, because they probably did have like very thin glass windows.
Yeah,
But
back then.
just like gonna fall in love with the baddie through the window. You know, instantly
In
I was
30 seconds. In 30
in
seconds.
30 seconds. And then my thing, he shouldn't have been knew she was trouble the way she swept away from.
But not only that, so freaking Judge Turpentine,
Yeah,
Turpin
Judge Turpin.
pulls him in the house randomly and start telling him he got
I
all these
missed
good
something.
naked ladies in it.
I thought I missed something. I was like,
What the hell is going on?
did he just pull him into the house? Like, what up, cuz?
Hey, I got all the Playboys.
Yep.
You said you wanted to look at a lady. You want to look at a lady, don't you?
That's what you want, right? That's what you out on the block singing about.
Then beat his ass.
Beat him down.
And then as soon as he get up,
Come around here again.
Get up, I will steal you. He still singing.
He still walked away.
I'm sorry, between him peeking through that hole in the wall and him singing about stealing her, that was probably, those two characters were the most cringe-worthy characters.
Creepy.
Oh, and Biddle. He was pretty. He was just...
Yeah, Biddle looks like the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. I was tripping about that. I was and the satisfaction that he got from, like, you know, when they drugged the wife, when they drugged
oh God, that was the part of the story that she told, and that was just like creepy. She like raped her in front of a group of people.
Like, not only did you just say take the husband to jail, but yeah, invite old girl to the party
because she don't want me. Because she don't want me, and I'm
tired of her. I've been trying to get at her, try to Romeo and Juliet at the window, like, yo, thy love. She didn't want that, so here we go. Like, here we go.
Let's have an orgy, eyes wide shut party, and
I'm a wide shut on some real eyes wide shut type stuff. Like, and everybody sat there and watched because they thought it was cool. Like, this is what we do here. And it was just wild. It was hella creepy. Like, you are so right. Like, definitely through the lens of the 2021, like, that would not fly. Y'all are done for. So yeah, Beetle was not a cool guy. He was creepy AF, and the satisfaction that he got. It's one thing to be creepy and then to understand where your creepiness comes from, but like when you just love it, it's scary as heck. And that is the darkness that I did not foresee coming into this film. So yeah, so what happens after that? Like,
we back to Sasha. We caught up because I kind of made notes of all the different scenes. So now we back to Sasha, so we can basically discuss that whole, like, what I don't understand is between the singing and the small lines that Lovett and Todd had. The only plan we saw them concoct was after this. When did they concoct the plan to shit on this man's show and pretend like his product was no good?
Yeah.
And they could have a battle with him.
I have to say, I never took, and maybe because I was too distracted by Sasha's junk, but I never took the time to really delve into why they did that. I
because he wanted to have that competition.
That yeah. So then that's what I saw, and then I was like, they don't want the boy that bad, right? Like,
it was a fraud, Sacha Baron Cohen.
Right. So he wanted to expose that because he wanted to become the big barber in town so people would come to him instead, which in turn would make the judge and whoever else that deserved to be killed in the midst of it all, would get it. So okay. But yeah, you're right. Like they just this is what I'll say. She would follow his lead. She wasn't a stupid chick. She wasn't dumb.
She played her role. She was like a side chick to a dead woman. She was a side chick to a dead woman, pretty much.
And I don't know why she plays that character so well, because to me, she almost plays that same character in Fight Club.
She did play a Fight Club. She was a side, but
just like
but she kind of.
That was a mind F on us. So for as much as we thought that she was tripping, she was.
She thought she was his main, but he thought that she was a side because he saw her with Tyler. No, Tyler.
Tyler, her with Tyler, Brad Pitt. So in his eye, but what we've come to find out is that we were being mind F, he was being mind F, and she all along was the one with some dang on common sense.
And she thought he was crazy.
No, she thought he was nuts, but she still getting that crazy D.
Yeah, she did play that character of like, oh, you crazy, but I'm crazy too. It's okay.
Yeah, let's be crazy together until you too crazy, and now you're making me mad with all your crazy. But I'm still crazy, so I'm still gonna.
Or I gotta do away with you because you're just too crazy.
Man, so they concoct the plan on the fly, and it happens, and Sasha, just murder, death, kill, slice, neck, just smash. Oh my god, like it's just the smashing of the head with like
I thought the slit of the throat was just. You can tell the blood is fake, but it's just like Jesus. Why you gotta go in there so deep?
He just got all up in there, like, get your head right. Man, like, dang.
All the blood scenes reminded me of Addams Family Value when the kids did the play at the school and they cut off each other's arms and stuff, and all the blood was just going everywhere.
Some real Kill Bill type stuff where it's just like, dang, no blood everywhere.
Yes, like Kill Bill.
Blood everywhere.
I felt so bad for that little boy though. Like when he was shaving his thing, he was doing, and he kept nicking his hand, and he just had all these nicks on his hand, and the boy was an alcoholic. And
when she said, "Well, just get you some gin," I was like, "The baby." And the fact that he was geeked about it, I'm thinking he's not gonna know what he said. Yes.
Like, you need the bottle. I said, Lord.
The baby is an alkie.
He's an alcoholic.
That's how he been getting through. Because Sasha didn't give a D about him. The fact that he didn't give no F's about that little boy. So that happens, and then it all works out for him. Like Sweeney actually gets Judge Turpin in his chair. Like
the next day though.
Like the next day, so I'm like, oh, this is too good. This is like just too good. Like, how is this happening so quick?
But that same night, Anthony. Oh, keep in mind also we are introduced to this mysterious homeless lady that
like
no one knows who she is because they've made her look like the freaking character from freaking Insidious, the lady in black, and you can't tell who she is until it starts to become important.
Until it starts to become important, which I thought was very interesting. Like, how are you gonna make her less and less?
And then Anthony comes to the crib after he kills Sacha Baron Cohen. He's still singing about how he gonna kill everybody. She tell him, I'm in love with this girl. Her name is Joanna. Oh, Joanna, my daughter named Joanna. And then she like, oh, well, look at you. Look at how things then came together for you with her jealous ass because she was mad. Then the next day, the judge comes and he about to sharpen his knife and cut that man neck on up while they singing about pretty girls. Turning in the air.
which made me feel like Judge Turpin had a fetish for young women
with blonde hair.
with
Mm-hmm.
blonde hair. He had a thing for young blondes, you
He
know.
really kept that girl in his house. I knew that was his plan, so he could then marry her. That's
Yeah.
literally why he kept her in the house.
Yeah, because nobody would know about her, and then just boom, you know, like she my wife now.
Yeah.
And then we'll just keep doing the same thing, you know.
Yep.
We'll just
Yep.
keep doing the same thing. Like my man's that was on oh, you didn't watch Game of Thrones, but it was a tribe like that on Game of Thrones where it was a character where he just had a village of women that he would, like, if they had boys, they gave them to the otherlings and the zombies, and then the girls, they kept them, and then he would just groom them up, and then that would be his next set of wives, and then he would fornicate with them and then have the next set of, like, he was just making his own wives. Gross.
Wow.
Gross, you
Oh,
know. And
that's
that's
terrible.
what I thought of Judge Turpin. Just like nasty man, nasty old man, just nasty old man. I didn't mean to rock your world like that, but yeah.
Yeah, you really did just rock my world.
I didn't mean to rock your world like that, but I felt the same exact way. In fact, when I rewatched Game of Thrones, I was like, just nasty.
That's
Just
sick.
gross. Like, who
That
does
is
that?
sick.
Like, sick. So, okay. So, and then it gets all jacked up. Like, it gets.
Here come Anthony running in while I like when he do that. When he's like, when he's singing it, he getting all into it because he about to kill him. And he like, yeah. And
Yo, he really was.
yeah, he was.
Up.
And then here come Anthony.
Ruin it all.
He had to say, he just walked, he busted in the door. Joanna.
Yeah. I was just like, dog, you messing up stuff.
I'm surprised but his plan was to kill that boy. He was gonna kill him.
Oh, he was going to kill
He
that
was
child.
gonna kill him. They sung about it. They were gonna kill him.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of good, I guess, that everything happened the way that it happened because he was gonna kill Anthony. And I guess stow away Joanna. I don't know what they were gonna do. Like, what were they gonna do? Like, after they killed Judge Turpin, what was the end game at that point? Because he didn't want to.
And I believe that, like, that's the part of the movie that I felt a little bit like this is what's missing. You know, I never had to ask, like, why doesn't this totally work for me? It's because I was very disappointed in not the motive itself. They all had motive and reason, right? That all continuously became revealed. But sometimes the way that the motive went about it, just like you said, how did y'all concoct this plan to throw salt in Sacha Baron Cohen's stylist, call him a fraud? Well, when did y'all figure that out, that made sense? Okay, when was it, like, smart for y'all to not talk a bit more about, okay, like, as far as Sweeney, like, why haven't you really tried to get a hold of your daughter? I thought you cared.
But that's the thing. I feel like we saw what Lovett wanted because she wasn't driven by revenge. I think it really speaks to the mindset that revenge puts you in. Most people say it. Like, if you watch a story about a person who killed someone because they, like a gang member who's killed because they lost someone in the gang, or a family member killed by a former gang, they'll always say to the next generation coming up, so what you gonna do? You gonna go kill him and kill him and kill him too? Well, I'm here to tell you that it's not gonna be fulfilling. It's not gonna give you the feeling that you want. Just like in Boys in the Hood, where Lawrence Fishburne basically tell his son that, it's not going to solve.
It's not going to bring him back.
And they only think to the point of revenge. I don't think he ever thought about what life would be like if he killed the people who he felt like he needed to destroy. And he did the thing that he felt like he needed to do. I believe which I'm about to reveal this, if Lovett wouldn't have told him that his wife was dead, his mission would have changed.
Yeah.
He was trying to find his wife and find his daughter because he could have had some type of life, even if
he has something to actually live for.
But what I don't understand is why he didn't think his having his daughter in his life would have been enough. But that's how you know that he was solely driven by revenge, and he
Cold
could
hard revenge.
only see as far as his revenge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why they didn't write another part of the story of a version of a life. We saw what Lovitz wanted because she knew what she wanted after. Okay, so after he figured out what he want to do, I want to marry him. I want to go
Yep.
to live on this island town, this CGI island town where we
Yeah.
have our makeshift son because we're both too old to have kids, and
Right.
live this life that you just abide by and agree to because you are unhappy and you can't ever get the life that you had prior. We knew what she wanted. We knew what her end game was. She was just
Yep.
waiting on him to get done. We knew what Turpentine wanted. We
Yep.
knew what Anthony wanted. We knew that
Mm-hmm.
Joanna wanted to go with Anthony. We knew what everybody else wanted. The only person that we couldn't see past their revenge was Sweeney Todd.
Yep. Yep. And that is because at the core, people like him are just hurt. They're hurt because of the way things turned out. And it really is like, this turned me cold. But for real, I'm not set up like this, because somebody that's set up like that would think that through. You know, like they have a real cause and effect. Like Beetle just was demented. You know, that's how he rolled. He never shied away from that. You know, he wanted you to know that his devilish smirk was nothing to be kind of like to like. Because I will bust your stuff. I will bust you up. I will kidnap your youngest. You know, I will destroy your life. For Sweeney, I mean, for him to even have to change the way he looks and change up his name was just enough to show like he was being something that he wasn't cut like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my man was walking around looking like Michael Jackson. He was not like he was a very kind man. Like,
but that's the thing. We don't know what kind of man Benjamin Barker was. We just
true.
knew his wife was beautiful. She was great. She was this. She was that. She was this. We only thing we knew about him is he was a barber. They didn't even speak to the fact that he was one of the coldest barbers out there. They just said he was a barber.
Right.
And he was married to this beautiful woman. And it was never like, the problem with him is he lived for her. He never lived for himself. So there was no man without this wife and daughter that he had. He was the best barber on Fleet Street, and that was never acknowledged until someone else who admired him acknowledged it, in Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah.
He never saw himself as more than the barber's husband. I mean, the wife to the wife. I mean,
Yeah, right. Yeah, because you don't hear it very often, but like a one-woman man was Dave Hollister.
and that's why he didn't know who he was without her. So it was easy for him to let go of who he was before and become this other version of a man, because he didn't see himself as anything but her husband. What I was trying to get to earlier.
Yes. I'm right there with you, friend. I'm right there with you. No, it's so very true. That's a very good point. You got any other like questions, any other things that like really, or should we just keep continuing on? Like,
I mean, yeah, we can keep going. I think we about midway.
Yeah, we almost there. So, and that was what I liked about the movie too. Like by the time I got to the end, I'm like, how is he gonna do this? How is he gonna pull this off? And like, there's so much that's been left. Like they're gonna just, they're just gonna do one fell swoop with this one. They're just gonna solve everybody's problem at the end. I see, and my prediction started coming through where I was like, okay, I see how this is gonna work out. I mean, look, man, the moment between the young boy, I forget that character's name, Toby.
Oh, what's his name? Toby.
I think so. Maybe. Let me go check real quick. So possibly Toby. The relationship that he had with Lovett, Mrs. Lovett, I really was like, oh, like yeah, his name is Toby. I was like, oh, like
until it got creepy.
First of all, I realized that every time they said ma'am, it sounded like mom.
Yeah.
It
Well,
sounded like they were saying mom instead of ma'am. I don't know because of the heavy accent, or they were like a play on the accent of that time.
it was deep in that Cockney.
But yeah, but every time he called her ma'am, it sounded like he was calling her mom, which I thought was interesting that because you could tell that was the route it was going out. He wanted some parently figure, you thought
her route was that she was going down.
That's what she wanted, yeah.
That's not what he wanted.
That I thought that's what he wanted, but I think I realized what he really wanted was like just to be around people that actually cared about him.
I don't know. I think he wanted her like in a like I'm in
love like in a nasty way.
Yeah, like when he started singing that song, I feel like it was more than just, and that's why it made her so uncomfortable.
Because he was trying to really get through to her, like, no, I love you.
Yeah, and that's why it made her feel so uncomfortable. You gotta think about it. This boy drinking gin. He's just a grown man in a kid's body.
Yeah, I mean,
every day.
Literally, that's what he's one step away from. He's been taking care of himself. He out here swindling the people. He done learned all his ways. He drinking gin. Yeah, it's time for me to get some of that pussy that you been putting in a meat pie.
And also,
talk about popping pussy
was different back then. Kids was getting married at 14 and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
He was 11. He was right. I'm telling y'all, and y'all maybe think I'm tripping, but the woman said popping pussies in a pie, and I had to pause.
She was referring to kitty cats.
She was referring to little meow meows that she was putting in the meat pie because she couldn't afford real meat. But it was just the choice of popping pussies that to me was like,
I did write that down though.
That was gold. Oh man, that was great.
I said,
yeah. What black person in the writer's room was like, y'all know that
never mind. Let's be real here.
It wasn't no.
It came out in 2007. You tell me.
There wasn't no black people in that writer's room.
Person was an extra in the movie, let alone in the writer's room. Man.
It wasn't. Dang. Y'all missed every single opportunity to involve us. And then you get mad when we do our own thing and we don't involve you.
Be involved in that mess. That was a mess.
Anyway,
little Toby was trying to put the moves on.
He was. Dang.
Basically told her, if I got to take Sweeney out for you, I will. Because
he was worried. And I thought that was a good point because I got to a point where I was like, wow, Sweeney might take her out. Like, he don't care no more.
Yeah, it got to the point where he was really just trying to kill the Turpentine man. And if he didn't kill him, he was going to take everybody out around him. Where she messed up
is allowing
keep in mind, everybody, we didn't really speak to the whole meat pies and how the restaurant became successful after he started. Since he couldn't get the judge, he decided he just wanted to kill bad people like Dexter.
Yeah,
and get rid of the and it's a whole song of them deciding whom they're going to kill and how they would taste better or worse and why they shouldn't take this person and kill them versus that person because of how they would taste and what they contribution to the world was. Yeah. So the restaurant becomes very popular. It goes from being like nobody in there because it was dirty to like being this full, thriving place. And Sweeney Todd is still up in that room pining over trying to kill Turpentine, and she just wants to build a life with him. She literally comes up there and say, man,
look, dog,
let it go, bro.
Right.
Your wife is dead. Your daughter in the crazy house. Oh, because Turpentine took the daughter to the crazy house because she was messing around with Anthony and he was about to marry her.
Because they were about to run off with their what is it called? Unrequited. Yes, through a window. Go fall for the baddie through the window.
So just to push it forward, we back to little kid Toby confessing his undying love to his mother figure. And he
twisted. It was twisted.
Yeah. And trying to get him to get off it, she reveals Sacha Baron Cohen's coin purse.
Which I knew was gonna come back on around.
I didn't think about that damn thing again. And when I saw it, I said,
that I was like, oh well, then if that little boy ever sees it, he's gonna find out that y'all had something to do with the missing of him. Like,
and not only that, then she says, after all he's saying, I will off Sweeney Todd, bro. You just say the word. And then she said, oh, Mr. Todd for my birthday. So that's gonna make me think that literally made the boy say, I told you, girl, we got to go. We got to get up out of here. He gonna kill us.
He gonna kill us. We got to go. What don't you understand?
Then she puts him in the basement finally, where she's been turning these human beings into meals for people to eat. So Sweeney can then come and murder him. And yeah, that's where we are. Dark. Yeah, it's super dark because she couldn't do it herself. And it was so sad, like watching him listen to her teaching him how to make the pies and how to do all of these things, because he trusts her, and he trusts her. He doesn't trust Sweeney. He trusts her. So he's trying to be the best version of himself to make her proud. And in her mind, she like, yeah, little boy, you got to die, because while you singing to me and I'm holding you, I'm singing to him. I'm singing, long as I'm around, no one is going to hurt Sweeney. But you're singing, as long as I'm around, no one is going to hurt you.
Yep.
So now, since
we have different agendas.
Yeah. Yeah. So now she's singing to Sweeney, basically saying, damn, I got to kill this little boy, because as long as I'm around, no one is going to harm you. So let me put him in his basement so I can tell you what the hell happened, so you can kill him, because I can't do it, because that's just too much, because this is getting beyond me now.
Yeah,
I ain't mind killing.
This is above me. It's above me now.
I didn't mind killing the scum of London, but I can't kill this little boy. He been helping me.
He been helping his sister out. So
in the midst of all of this, they're going to get Joanna from the crazy house, and Turnip is coming. I keep changing his name. Turnip is coming to get his to find his girl. Well, no, we don't know yet.
Yeah, well, no, Sweeney has sent out the note now.
Oh, yeah.
Sweeney has sent out the note by now. Yep.
He told the boy to go take Toby.
He done sent Toby out with the note to be like, yeah, get this to him and let him know, like, something has happened. You know, if you care, you'll do something about it.
But now the plan is unraveling. The little boy has put a monkey wrench in the plan, because now he has to die. So Lovett is telling him to kill the kid. Can't find the kid because it's a damn sewer grate in the room. So he's escaped from the damn killing room. How? That's convenient.
Well, real quick, can we go back one more moment to the rescuing of Johanna? Because and I know it's a movie, you know, that this is the way things work. But why couldn't they mob up on him before? Like the dark figured man that
had never been in one of them rooms other than those moments, and nobody had ever given them an option. Like, some of those really were messed up in the head. Some of them were probably not, but just like his wife, who's dead, turned crazy. Some of them probably crazy from sickness. Some of them probably was weak, not even strong enough to eat. But that person gave them a window.
Opportunity. Yeah, it was a window.
So they took that window, because it's a shame, because that's how those places used to be for real. And it used to be full of women. They used to put the men in jail, and they used to put the women in the crazy house. And that is so sad to see that depicted that way, because that's really how they used to do them women back then. And that's just the white women.
Right.
Where did they put the black women? They didn't.
Lord, I don't even want to know.
They didn't put them anywhere. I'm here to tell you, they didn't put them anywhere. They put them in a ditch.
Yeah.
So, you know, watching all of that happen, and then watching this whole plan unravel with the boy getting lost, and him just becoming so on edge to the point where now he against everybody, and he just
he doesn't trust anybody. He's like, whoever, like, yeah, just I'm ready to slit throats. Like,
yeah, because at this point, what, Biddle had came?
Biddle has come. Yep, Biddle's come, and
that's how the little boy ended up in the grate.
Right.
Because the body dropped when he. I think he said, I'm not dumb, but I'm not. He said, I'm not dumb, but I'm not stupid. I mean, I'm not smart, but I'm not stupid. But it took a long time to put that shit together because he had ate that finger. Then he saw. And then
he like, what is this? They're nasty. Are those ribs?
Then that man came down,
bruh,
and he was ready to go.
And he said, I'm done. So so now Joanna's been rescued. So now we're happy. Like, yes, like, whew, we've seen the end of the time. Like, I thought that Sweeney was gonna make a mistake and kill his daughter because he thought she was Toby.
Bro, I'm like, it's dark as hell in London because you can't see these women's faces.
Yeah, so I'm like, oh.
But old girl did ask him if he remembered what his wife looked like, and he said he couldn't say that he did.
And it's so true, and that was like throwing me for a loop for a minute because I'm like, man, the man walked around with a picture of the woman, talked about her all the time. I could only imagine how much he was still trying to envision her in his head.
All he could see was blood red rage,
but
and that's
when I saw a murder, death, kill. That's what he really saw.
That's all he saw. Oh, but I also forgot to mention this, that in the midst of the success of the restaurant, the wife, the crazy wife, is constantly coming around saying, because she can see this man killing people from upstairs, because it's not like he did have a whole, what is that called, a skyline window?
Yeah,
like up there.
And when I realized that she realized that what he was doing, I'm like, so you're not even gonna try to hide it?
Not at all. But that lets you know at that time in this depiction of what version of London this is, how bad it was.
Mm-hmm. The things that you could get away with.
Yeah,
the things that you could do, the things that sinister people thought of, like they could just be the worst version of themselves because they could do whatever they want.
They could do whatever they wanted in this world that they created of London. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm sure is a very, 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 very obscure version of what somebody chose to do with the story. But I mean, every story comes from some form of truth. And I'm sure for people at times they did think it was that bad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just a depiction of that at its worst.
Agreed. So things are happening. I'm like, Sweeney's gonna make a mistake and kill his daughter. But in fact, what happens is that she realizes that she needs to hide because what's happening is the beggar woman, which is the wife, it comes upstairs, and then you're like, oh no, what's gonna happen to her? Like, what did she?
This one.
What did she even do? She didn't even do nothing wrong. Like,
just keep in mind, at this point, we all know it's the wife because now they're showing us her face. Now, every time she comes,
I'm trying to figure out her importance. Like, I'm like, okay, I understood in the beginning.
Okay, so I know. Yeah.
No, it definitely was a complete. I didn't know at that moment. No, at all. At that moment, I'm trying to figure out why was she still around, and like I knew that she was trying to get them caught up, but I knew that she had figured it out to some degree. But I was just wondering, like, why was she still around? Because if she was the bum that knows it, I felt like she could have done a great job of keeping it real low key and not doing anything about it. Even when she says, I know you look familiar, I know you from somewhere, and then he just hears a voice and just swat. Like, I didn't even get it. Just
so you didn't realize that was his wife until
it went down in the basement.
Oh wow!
Like, in retrospect, when she says you look familiar, voice is heard, and he just comes back with the swing. Like, I forgot it too. Like it's like he killed my thought process. Like for what I wanted to think, him killing her just because I still couldn't get over the fact that he was slicing throats. Like, took me to the end of the movie to accept it all. Like, wow,
You just killing everybody.
you just killing everybody. Like the one life that he spared was the guy who came in there with his wife and young daughter for his trim. Like that was the only person he spared. That was the only time he showed. And he didn't. And let me take that back. I'm not even gonna say that he didn't show no remorse. He didn't show no mercy. Like he just didn't want to be that guy because he know what his revenge is all about. So it's like, well, I'm not. At least he knew that he didn't need to start it up with another person. Right, like I don't need to trauma bond now. I don't need to create this with this young family right here. Let me not do that to them. So, but you know, he was kind of, in my eyes, looked a little disappointed. More than like, I don't even want to do that, or more like it was more like, man. Damn. If he didn't bring his wife,
it would have been on.
Or his daughter, it would have been on and popping, on and slicing.
So let's talk about the most horrific. Well, not the most, but one of the two. It was two, but the one that,
yeah,
him killing Turpentine or Turpin.
Bro. So, like, in the darkness of it all, haircut at night, they're you know, they picked up where they left off, singing about pretty women.
Pretty girls. I just kept singing Wale every time that, but my flow sounds sicker.
They're singing this song, and bruh man says, like, for real, like, you remember me? Like, I'm that guy, and now I'm coming to kill you. So like,
but like stab with the
yeah, he stabbed, he did, he stabbed.
Stabbed, blood everywhere, blood on the window, blood on the floor, blood on the dance floor, blood, it's everywhere.
This is why I could never get over it, because it was just like
gruesome. It was so gruesome.
It was so gruesome. Like,
and then all them bodies downstairs falling on top of each other.
Dude, that is also the second thing that I could never get used to, is the way that them bodies was falling head first.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Ooh,
yeah, they was cracking necks and all, cracking them cut necks.
Oh my god, I'm like, if you didn't die from the stabbing, you definitely are paralyzed and dead from the fall. Yeah, or you should be.
Well, I mean, the way he was cutting deep, he was cutting all them cords. He was cutting all the cords. So
y'all bleeding out in a minute. Y'all bleeding out under 30 seconds. For sure.
No, but I feel like in like a murderous rampage, you just get to a point of, from what I could tell, he reached a point of euphoria where he was only driven by the feeling that he got when he killed. And that's why he almost killed his daughter by mistake, because I mean, you ain't about to tell me a hat is going to deter you from thinking that that's a woman, unless it's just really dark in London during them times, because Lord, she had facial features of a woman.
Yes. And in fact, looked like your wife. But I guess that
baby was a baby when he knew her.
True.
He didn't know her of nothing of her.
And this is very true. But I guess it keeps coming back to the whole thing that we're talking about, that was never his motive to save his daughter. He was there for revenge. He was never there. He was there to avenge his wife's killing. Because that's the thing too. He didn't know these things happened to his wife. He just knew that he had been sent off, and he like, I'm ready to come back and kill the mofos who put me in jail.
Pretty much. He wasn't thinking about them.
He wasn't thinking about like, oh, but I also like on like that's on the top of the agenda, but like the next bullet point is like find my wife and daughter.
But I also believe that he probably back then this used to happen all the time. So most women would just conform to that life and live that life, and you would pass them on the street and you would just never get your wife back. So your mission would be to kill the man and then you could get your wife back. He thought all these years his wife was doing fine. She just was in a bad situation.
Yeah.
So his motive to kill them was to get his wife out of the situation. He didn't know his wife never submitted. He don't know that she never did the do and sacrifice because it was a submissive time. He just assumed that she was going to do whatever he wanted her to do, and that was going to be the end of it, and he was going to have to come save her. He thought she was going to be there. He never thought in his mind that she wasn't going to be there.
Wow.
He just thought that he was going to have to be the one to get her out of the adversity that she faced because of him, because of her time.
And because he spent pretty much the whole time trying to get the turpentine, he never was able to even think that far into like, but yo, where my wife at though? I mean, well,
our girl told her that she
had already told him what she told him, but then like I think once he's like, my wife's gone. I'm just surprised that he just didn't want to know more about his daughter. It just like, dang, man.
They sung a song about pretty girls that they pined over as they were things, not people. Like they were pretty much trying to tell you in that movie, if there's one thing that they told you other than revenge is not fulfilling, women mean absolutely nothing to us.
Nothing.
So that's why she wasn't important, because she wasn't important. She wasn't. He probably would have been fine with Anthony taking her off and doing whatever he was going to do with him, because that didn't piss him off. But then again, maybe it did, because they were thinking about killing him, because in his mind, maybe he's saying, you ain't taking my daughter. You know what I'm saying? But I guess maybe he just didn't want to show that vulnerability as well, because he had to keep that mindset in order to complete those tasks. And he couldn't be thinking about the love he had for his daughter in those moments, because then he wouldn't want to go through with killing these people.
And that makes sense. And so like, which is how he almost killed his daughter. So he doesn't kill his kid, and it's just like, you know, relief. You know, there's some relief,
right.
and then
ain't going down easy. He downstairs.
But ain't going down easy in the scream, and that's what distracts him. And so he's like, well, dang, like he may have not wanted to admit it, but I think he definitely cared about Mrs. Lovett to a certain degree, you know. And I think he felt like, maybe I will actually marry her. We'll just have this like tormented, weird relationship. Like maybe
do whatever she wants.
Yeah, basically, because she let me do whatever I want. So cool. We good. Like we got this. We figured this out at least. And then you get down there and I was like, oh, I already know what's about to happen. Like, this person's going to kill this person, is going to kill this person. Like, it's like,
but see, you didn't know why. You hadn't gathered
why. I didn't know why. I just knew that it was going to be some between Lovett and Todd. I knew that one of them were going to turn in that relationship. One of them were going to turn on one another, but I had no reason why. But when it happened, and we find out the beggar woman, the woman this whole time is actually his wife, and she actually is alive, and Lovett knew. It wasn't that they all just found it at the same time. It is that Lovett knew, and she was like, I would have been better for you. I've been wanting you for a minute now. Like,
better for you. She crazy. Her mind messed up. You don't want her like that.
You don't even want her anyway. And rage, murder. He was so good at it. He switched. He's like, you know what? You're right. Let's
dance around the dead bodies and blood, and
like this. Let's just have.
She was so naive. She didn't catch it.
She wanted it so bad that she didn't catch that she was about to be caught,
horrifically murdered.
Oh my God, the scariest scene is those eyes through the slit. Like, That's what you get. That's what you get.
Oh man,
Like,
she
my man
was
threw you in the
so
fire and then watched you in
burned.
the fire burn and scream for your life.
He ain't never cared about you, girl.
And then he goes to,
His
like,
wife,
his
whose
wife, and
name
he's
I
like,
don't even think we ever found out.
bro. And then it happens. The young boy come through. Whoosh-ah!
And he knew it was about to happen too.
He knew it was about to happen.
He
He knew
heard
he was
him.
behind him. He knew he was behind him. And he knew, like, this is how I gotta go out. I gotta go out knowing that I killed my own wife.
Mm-hmm.
This is on me. This is on me. And maybe this is exactly what I deserve.
That's why he didn't fight it. He could have took that boy down.
Oh yeah,
He could have did whatever
totally.
it was that he needed to do. But
Mm-hmm.
he was just like, how am I gonna live after this? How was
Yeah.
I gonna live that made him start thinking about and regretting all his decisions because
Yeah, like in a flash,
nothing
like,
made sense. None of this makes sense anymore. Like
yep.
it's just time for me to go.
Just when I thought I had it all figured out, I've been getting played this whole time.
Yep. But I love it because
I love it.
her intention was to never let me know that. And even though the woman didn't really realize who she was, and thank God she didn't really register who he was, because before he killed her, she never really registered who he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And it made sense because she was a crazy woman. So which what I thought was interesting because she had knew all the information in front of the house, and like she had knew it was this new person here, and she noticed that people were missing, and she knew
But that was her daughter. She knew that was her daughter.
Well, she knew that was her daughter.
Yeah, that's her daughter. She knew that. She knew that.
That's why she knew that story
That's
so
why
well.
She knew all that information. That's why she was there. That's why.
See, I just thought she was just a beggar woman. I just thought she was a bum on the street.
Was her daughter. She knew definitely that was her daughter.
I didn't think that she understood that,
Because I don't think she was as crazy as she, quiet as is kept. I don't think she was as crazy as she was acting. I think that maybe over the years she became more crazy, but I think that she thought that was the only way she could be safe from Turpentine.
Because then if she was walking around too much looking like a baddie again, he was gonna come scoop her back up and be like, well, now you belong back to me because this is where I wanted you from get-go.
Because even when Lovett was telling how she chose to, when she was saying why he wouldn't have wanted to know her at the end, she chose that. She chose to stay laid up. She chose not to eat. She chose, after what happened to her by him, she chose to disconnect. She could have got back up and she could have moved on. She chose to be crazy because it didn't take to look at that man in her eyes and say, don't I know you from somewhere? She wasn't as crazy as she was leading.
As they were,
feel like
you make a very good point. You make a very good point. So yeah, that totally rocked my world. And yeah, and then you're just like, well, I guess Anthony maybe got what he wanted, but like, how traumatized is Joanna now to like know that
she saw any of that? And I don't think she knew who that man was.
That's true, right? Because she was inside that box, so it's not like she could peek through or see through. And he told her, "Forget my face."
Right.
So she probably ran up out of there and probably didn't even really get to like link up back with Anthony because where the heck did he go? Like,
he went to go get a horse or a coach for them to leave. But did you see how at the end after Toby slit his throat, like his light has went out of his eyes, like he was all grayed out like Sweeney, like he had the like grayed eyes and everything like that?
No,
like,
I don't think I really noticed that.
I was like,
not in that way. Not in that way. Wow.
Baby Sweeney.
Dang.
Baby Sweeney.
Baby Sweeney. It really threw me for a loop. I was very pleasantly surprised. I was not annoyed with the singing. In fact, I I love the way that they incorporated the singing so much that you had to. I mean, you had told me from jump, you was like, turn them subtitles on, but Chevy didn't know I'm subtitle shouted, so I always got the closed caption on, and yeah,
It literally drove the story. Like if you didn't listen to
oh,
the subtitles or read the subtitles, you wouldn't
mm-hmm.
you wouldn't have known those little. You wouldn't have known what happened to his wife and him at
No,
the end of the movie.
you wouldn't have understood anything.
Mm,
So you would have had to use a lot of context clues. And it
yeah,
wasn't a lot of them, because when it got down to just the pure dialogue, things would be revealed in dialogue, or they would carry on with the story through the dialogue, but you would have been playing catch up. Like I said, you would have been playing like a lot of catch up and using a lot of context clues, and I don't think it would have it's not rocket science, but you would have felt like I'm missing something, and then you rewind it, listen to the song, and you're like, oh. But what I will say is that it doesn't have the play back or like the musicality that you're looking for when you think of something like a Hamilton or like The Greatest Showman, or even like the Little Shop of Horrors, where you're like, oh, I could like listen to this by itself. That complemented the movie. Like it kind of reminds you of like, not a really, no, not, yeah, where it's like it's ingrained in the movie, kind of like Purple Rain. Like without the music, you just don't the story is missing something, right? You put it in and then you totally get it. This is the same way. You take that music out and then you just make all that dialogue, and you're just like, man, I don't like this. I don't think I would like that as a movie without the singing. And
right. But I mean,
so
I could
crazy
see
to hear
like
myself say
somebody.
that.
People would like Little Shop of Horrors without the music. I think people would like The Greatest
I
Showman
think
without the music.
I agreed. You take the music out and it would have been like, oh, this is a cool movie. Like, but for real, that's when I realized like that's a musical. And not only is it a musical, it's I want to say it's because I think it's, for me, it's made for theater.
Yes, yes.
It's like made for theater. I thought Little Shop of Horrors was made for theater. It just so happened is on it, like done in theater. This is how you do a musical that you're going to do on a play, on a stage in a theater. And so they did a great job of like making it a screenplay and putting it on the big film. I mean, on a big screen. So kudos to Sweeney Todd. You just threw me for a loop. Like, dang. I just can't believe it. I just love me some Johnny Depp. And then I just thought it was also very ironic is that I believe this is what, his second or third musical, you would say? Because would you count Charlie? Was Charlie in the Chocolate Factory?
Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. Only the Oompa Loompa sang in Charlie in the
Okay,
Chocolate.
so this and Crybaby. So this is
Oh
one
yeah.
so this and Crybaby. And I did not think of that on my own. I read it where I was like, oh snap. Like, cause what I love what Amazon does on the side where they like,
Yeah, they tell you
yeah,
because they partner with IMDb. So
it's so cool. So when people appear in a movie, they give you their real name and the character that they're playing. They give you trivia facts. They give you little like continuity issues in the movie, which I thought was so funny because like I love that about films. That's like my favorite thing is looking at continuity issues and things that don't make sense in the story. And for instance, the wife, the beggar woman, they said her bumps changed throughout. And like as we say, like she was raggedy as heck and bumpy as heck in the beginning of the film and like just dark. Like, did you just come out of a smoke chimney? Like,
straight up, literally, they turned her blue, purple, aqua. Like her skin looked aqua, and she
looked like a
was
fish.
like. But they did that on purpose.
Oh, they totally did.
Certain people, like, because I knew it was the wife. As soon as she started coming to the restaurant, I was like, "Oh, I bet you that's the wife." Yeah, I knew that was the wife. So
I never settled on her long enough.
Yeah, if they would have showed her face in the beginning, certain people or people would have figured that out at the beginning, and it would have took away from the end of the movie. Now, I'm not saying I thought it was the wife with certainty, but I wasn't as shocked at the end when she walked in that room. I said, "That's definitely his wife. That's definitely his wife." Oh God, he about to kill his wife. Oh, he done killed his wife. Like that was me.
I was
You know
too
what I'm saying?
focused. See, that's where they got me. They got me, man, because I just knew he was gonna kill his daughter. But then I should have known that because he didn't never. I'm sorry, I don't think he really ever cared.
How could he? She was literally like
I
3
don't.
months when
I
he
don't
got
think he really
put in
cared.
jail. But like as they reveal her face more, they
Mhm.
started making you realize that her character was in some way important.
Yep.
And then if you remembered what the wife's face looked like, then you would refer that. But
And shoot, I did. I forgot.
I mean, they didn't show her much. She was
They
only
didn't.
in the first shit. She was in there for like a minute, and then she was there for like another minute. She was literally
Mhm.
there for half a song. So how would you remember her?
Yeah,
They
it's
only
true.
showed you her twice. And it was only for as long as they sang that song about a barber and his wife.
Yep. Being a
So
fool. Being
so
a
yeah,
fool.
they didn't want that was the whole thing. And that's the beauty of referring it back to like a play too. That's how plays work, because plays usually have some type of big reveal at the end that they hide from you in plain sight the whole time.
The whole time they did such a great job with that, and I loved it.
Like it's a Tennessee Williams play. I think it's a Tennessee Williams play. I
Mhm.
saw it, and it was about a wife. She was crazy or something like that, and they kept making reference to this gun the whole play. This gun that was in the family, and she ended up killing herself at the end. I cannot think of the
Mm.
name of the damn play. It was amazing. It's my first like real theatrical play that I saw when I was going to Bowling Green,
Yeah.
and it blew my mind. It blew my mind because I had never seen a play like that before. And
Yeah.
I mean, I had saw some plays. Shit, I had been in some plays, but it blew my mind how they kept bringing that back. That's why when I watch movies and I watch shows, they might just show a shot of people's hands, and it's like, why did they show us that
Why
shot?
did they do that? Yeah. When a character looks off and they show you what they looked at, why? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? If somebody's writing a letter, you need to be looking at those last bottom few words that
yes,
are being written because it's
yes.
something important. Like it's a reason why they're showing you that.
Yeah, like I always refer it back to this, and I might be reaching in a way, but in the first season of The Walking Dead, before the zombies come, Shane and I can't think of the man's name no more. The
Mhm.
two main characters are cops, and they in the car, and they're just talking about life, talking about their wives, talking about different things, and they're eating lunch. So Rick puts, the ketchup on his bread for his burger. And
Ah,
as he holding it in his hand, Shane dips his French fry in the ketchup on his bun, and they show us this. Like they cut to him dipping his fry
mm,
in ketchup on his bun. And when
mm,
it's revealed later that he was sleeping with his wife,
mm.
said, "You dipping in the ketchup fry, mofo."
Because if you dealing with the man's wife, you don't care.
He
Like,
dipped in it. He dipped in it. Because the reason why I guess I noticed it, because I said, "Who the heck? Excuse you, sir.
yeah, who
He
like
dipped."
right, how you go? I
It
don't care
bothered
about
me. It bothered me so. Like it bothered me. Like Devin was like, I didn't even notice that. I was like, it bothered me because that's very invasive for
it's
someone to do that.
totally invasive. But of course, that wouldn't be invasive to someone who is sleeping with your wife. I
Yeah,
just
or
dip
someone
my
who
fry and
would
your
sleep with
ketchup
your
on
wife.
your burger and not even ask you. Like, it's not even like, dang, that's enough. That's enough ketchup for my fry. And then haha, like it was like, oh,
It's like, who does that? And
who
I mean,
does
some people could argue that it shows how close they was. To me, it showed me what type of man he was. Like
yeah.
he doesn't care about what's mine is mine and what's yours is yours. What's
Mhm.
yours can be mine too if you don't say it. You know what I'm saying? So
Yep.
it didn't surprise me when we find out that he the baby daddy, because they never really said who was
Dang.
the baby daddy. They never really said who was the baby daddy.
Dang.
Because
I
how
didn't
did they
watch The
get
Walking Dead. I didn't watch The Walking Dead, but that sounds like something. Like that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one right there. I love the subtleties and in film and writing that you can create to make moments like excuse me to make moments like that. It makes it just that much more important and really like exciting when it all comes together like that's why. And this is what we're talking about with character traits, like it's
Yeah.
real.
Yeah, it really is real. It really is real. But that's what I like about theater. Like, because it's always that big reveal, and that big reveal can be humongous. And I do
Mhm.
like how they stuck true to that in this movie because that end is a big reveal. And I
It
just would
truly
love to
is.
see that on the stage to see how they would do that.
Yeah,
Also,
and that's what I thought about too. I thought about that too. I was like, I wonder how they, because when I went to go find like little gifts and photos, a lot of the stage play stuff came up.
yeah, I want to see that. I wonder if it's like a splatter section because I've been trying to go see Evil Dead in
Hmm.
theaters for years, but it only comes during October, and usually I'm doing something
Hmm.
Octoberish in October, and they
Yeah.
got a splatter section. So I wonder if when in Sweetie Todd, if they have a splatter section, like you will get blood on you
All right. If
if you
you
get
sitting right here, just
right
know
there. 'Cause they got one for Evil
that's
Dead, and
cool.
hella blood in that movie. So
That's cool. It's so much blood in that movie. It's not even funny. Like,
yeah,
dang, it's just a montage.
it's bad. It's bad. But
Man.
so I mean, Sweeney Todd. Would you watch it again?
Oh man, I wanted to be the first person to ask you that. Yeah, probably not unless I was trying to show somebody the movie. Like, unless I was like, "Yo, have you ever seen this movie before?" If I was suggesting it and recommending it to somebody else, and we decided to, um, yeah, I wouldn't go out my way to watch it again. Like, oh, I have to see that again. But I watching it again would be no problem. It'd be easy to watch it again. So.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the first time I watched it since 2008. So
Hmm.
it's definitely not something. It messed me up. I'm not even gonna lie. I was
Man.
sitting there like because that movie, that's what that movie does. Like after after the
I was in
blood
here
splattered
yelling.
on her face and he just bleeding out on her face and you know what I'm
Oh my
saying?
god, the bleeding out on the face. I was like, what is that symbolizing? What is that?
I
Why they let
just
him bleed out on her face like that? Is she about to come back to life off his blood? Is she what is about to happen?
oh my
I did
goodness.
not understand why they were doing that.
That just leave that movie and Sinister were like the only movies that I ever watched like in any capacity where after the movie was I'm not gonna say it was just those two, but those are the only two
Mhm.
that I can think of at this moment where after they were done, I just had to sit there for a minute and
Like,
ponder my movie choices
I
because
mean,
yeah,
good thing I did have a couple of not slight interruptions, and life happens when you're watching a movie. Of course, every time you turn on a movie, everybody and their mom want to start calling you, talking to you. So I did have a break from the film, but man, like nothing really took away that shock. Nothing took away that shock. I came back like, wow, he's still slicing necks. He won't stop. Man, I like it though, but just like you said, oh man, well, as far as like ending it off with a quote, like, I mean, shoot, revenge is a dish best served cold, like because which I thought was interesting that they were serving those meat pies. Like I thought it was, like this whole idea of serving revenge and giving it to the people themselves because of like maybe this is the environment that we all have created. Like,
hmm
because just like he said, like, dang, nobody didn't have mercy for my wife. Like y'all just sat there and watched it. Like y'all just let this go down like this. No, nobody stepped in to try to help. But it
But
was like,
that's the crazy part about him befriending her. And but see, he never knew that that was the woman. And I think it's one thing to say, I didn't want you to see her like this. I didn't want her to be like this. But it's another thing for not only for me to have been gone for all this time and you say you love me, if you love me this much, why did you let my wife be out here like this, bro?
Why you ain't try to help my daughter? Like,
Yeah,
literally? Like,
and I mean, it's only so much you can do for the daughter, but my wife is literally out here
she can be helped.
panhandling. You know what I'm saying? Dirty
She
as
can be helped.
hell, living God knows where, because we never saw where she lived. You know,
Bruh.
and yeah, she wasn't shit. Miss Lovitz wasn't shit.
No, she
We know.
wasn't nothing.
But that's
She
what love
wasn't
would do to you
nothing.
too. Love would make you do things that you never thought you would do. Have you
Mhm.
lying, cheating, killing, stealing, hurting people that you care about, like the little
Yep.
boy, doing all kinds
Huge.
of things that's outside of your character or whatever character you want people to believe you are because you love them. Her life wasn't great before she met him. I'm sure after she looked at everything, she said, my life is better now than it
Mhm.
was. But I think she really kind of maybe cared for her husband in a way. And I know that the verdict is out because we didn't came up with 3 theories on that. But I don't know. Maybe she did. Maybe she did care for him.
Yeah.
Maybe there was some version of her life that was happier before she even knew who Sweeney Todd was or Benjamin Barker was. And after
Right.
that, that's when she woke up and said, I'm married to this fat old man. I want Sweeney. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I hate my life now. And now I don't
Mhm.
want this life that I've created with my husband. And who's to
Yep.
say she didn't kill him? She was so okay with murder.
Yeah, who knows?
Killing
Like,
people's
I
dogs and
mean,
cats and shit. That's
and
psychopath
and now that I
behavior.
think about it, I may have blinked a little too hard in how the meat pie idea came across, because
That was her idea.
that was, yeah, I knew it was her idea, but it made me think like, what would I felt like she knew that he needed to do some killing, wanted to do some killing. And at this point, like, he was gonna kill anybody. So like let's make it work in our behalf. Like, that was the notion. But it does make me think, like, has she done this before?
Yeah, I mean, she killing
I
cats
mean,
and
she been popping pussies in a.
how you killing people's pets though? If you killing people's pets, that's
Oh,
psychopathic
you
behavior.
demented
You know what I'm
too.
saying?
You got some serious issues as well.
Yeah, she
For
definitely
real,
has some.
my man, the dentist from Little Shop of Horrors. People got problems. I'm convinced. I'm
Yeah,
convinced. It's
I'm with
real
it.
out here.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
crazy.
Anything you want to tell the people before we, or I mean, I'm sorry. Is there anything else that you would like to speak about this film? I think we've covered.
Yeah, I think we've covered and covered and covered the
For sure.
Sweeneyest
For sure.
tide. The
Yes.
Sweeneyest
Yes.
tide.
The Sweeney of the Tide. Is anything you want to tell the people?
Thank you, Stacy, for dropping in and chatting with us. We've seen some viewers out
Always.
there, so thank you, viewers, for
We
viewing.
appreciate y'all.
You don't have to lurk. Our chat is lit.
Like, come on, man. Right. Because the way it was going last week,
It was
like,
bumping. But if you want to lurk, you can lurk. I mean,
it's
do
cool.
you.
Yeah.
You do what's best for you. Please follow the social media handles that you see under our faces or bodies, rather. Um and check out our YouTube at 2 Snaps in a Circle. Next week is the last week of March, right?
It is. It is.
So I think we will have something that we can give away by next week.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So I think we're gonna give a little prize away. Just a
Ooh.
little something.
A
Just
little
a little
something for the
something.
viewers. Thank y'all. We appreciate y'all messing with
Not
us.
too much, just a little something, just a little
Mm-hmm.
something. But y'all have to like actively chat in the chat. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
come on,
saying?
man. Give us something. But you want to figure out a film now? Like, we always go through this.
I think we can figure out what film we're gonna watch offline today.
Cool.
Because we was talking today.
Yeah, we was talking today. Dang. We was talking today. I didn't even. I think this may have been the first time that I actually paid attention to what time it was.
No, but this is the first time we actually hit the 10 o'clock mark. Like this is the first time. Like
No,
usually the
look
most we've
at
ever done
us.
is like 9:45. That's the longest we
Yeah,
ever talked, is
yeah,
like
yeah.
9:45.
We appreciate y'all for hanging in there this whole time, rocking with us. But
Yes,
man,
yes.
this is good. This is good. Yeah, I'm with you, man. Follow us everywhere that we got posted. Check us out. Check out everything that we've done in the past. And, Musical March is coming to an end. I hate to see it go, but because now I feel like I'm like, oh snap, I think I like musicals. I'm so easily influenced.
Musicals are all right,
but they're good. They're all right. It taps another side of me for sure. So
I'm partial to them.
Yeah.
But I'll be singing them damn songs, so I don't know. Sometimes I think I like them, and sometimes I think I don't.
And that's the thing. Yeah. So we don't have a movie quote. I'm sure it's been said in plenty of movies that revenge is a dish best served cold. And it truly is, because you got to be cold-hearted, cold-blooded, literally, pun intended, cutthroat to like go out for revenge. And we say it's not worth it.
No.
You will be definitely unfulfilled, as Chevy said earlier, and it's just not worth it. So keep your eyes on the prize. That's what you really need to do. If that man went for his wife and his child, maybe he wouldn't have been in the situation he was in. But because I'm not letting that go. You just don't give
about Joanne.
Dang, you're gonna let this dude? I can't let that one go. That just got me messed up. You don't really care, my dog. You don't care. You almost killed her. You don't really
because it's too dark and he didn't have any candles. He didn't have any candles.
London.
London town in the London town.
Man, all right, y'all. Dog.
We are signing off because
he has to go. We'll see y'all next week, y'all.
Stay classy, America. Not America, the whole world.
The whole world. The world, Craig.
Classy, world. I was about to say world. All right, y'all. We gone. Bye. Bye.